On this episode of Inside the Eagles Nest, we'll take a look back at Franklin County's huge win against the Vikings of Woodbridge and preview this upcoming whiteout game against the Salem Spartans. Let's go to the Eagles Nest. Hello and welcome back to week 3 of Inside the Eagles Nest. I'm Justin Hall along with my partner in crime right here, Kevin Tosh. Kevin, the Eagles picked up a huge win last week up north against the Vikings of Woodbridge. Can you tell us more about it?
Well, yeah, I was going to jump the gun a little bit there. First of all, it's a long trip up there. We left early to go cover the game with Cable 12. I'm the color commentator for that, so I had to set up as well. That made for a long day. But the way I understand, the team didn't leave till 11 o'clock. Usually on those long trips, they'll stay overnight, and especially during playoff games or when they play a team up there later in the season. So it was about a 4.5, 5-hour drive. Usually after a long drive like that and a long wait, there's a little bit of a layover, and the teams just don't come out fired up. But Franklin County came out coached and fired up and ready to play in this game. They started out with 21 unanswered points in the first half for a 21-0 lead going into the half. Terrell Basham, with shades of Thad Basham, his brother last year, started the scoring off with a 41-yard reception from Kyle Ellis, caught the ball on the 15, 10-yard line and drug one or two Woodbridge players into the end zone for the score. The second score of the night for the Eagles came on another touchdown pass, but this time from Kyle Ellis to Alex Keys for 4 yards. The play that Franklin County set up in the wing tee, a lot of times you'll see Keys come across the formation, takes the handoff, and just goes around the tackle on a run. But this time, instead of taking the handoff, he went out into the flats. He was wide open and picked up an easy 4-yard reception there. And I think the biggest play of the game was at the end of the first half when Kyle Ellis was able to find Terrell Basham again, this time for 25 yards on a touchdown pass really late in the first half. And that was a big play. A lot of controversy over this play. The Woodbridge coach and some of the fans that were at the game thought Terrell pushed off a little bit. That's up for you to decide. I don't think he really pushed off. I think it was a little bit both ways. But anyways, the ref didn't call anything there, and they like throwing their flags. Just on a side note, the two teams combined for 28 penalties for about 253 yards. Just unbelievable amount of flags. But Franklin County was able to control the ball in the first half. They were able to do just about anything they wanted to. They forced a few turnovers, which were very key. They forced at least 2 fumbles. But another thing, Woodbridge is a good team. They're really athletic. This was their first game of the season. They were a little bit flat in the first half. But in the second half, they came out ready to go. They were led by a freshman quarterback like we talked about last week, Mike Majette. And he came out, he was slinging the ball around, using his athleticism. But another player we talked about last week when we highlighted this game was going to be Darius Parsons. He plays linebacker and he's going to Syracuse, but he also came in as running back. He was able to pound the ball. He was able to, really lay it to a couple of Franklin County players. But Franklin County was able to hold on to the 21-14 victory and come out with a really good win over what was ranked at that time the 10th ranked team in the state by Virginia Preps in Woodbridge. Franklin County moved up to 19th in the state this week. Woodbridge dropped from 10th all the way to 22nd. So it was a really big win for.
Big win.
Is there anything you want to add from the game that you've heard, or any questions you have?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay, yeah, it was a good game for Franklin County. A lot of momentum that they're going to be building for the season, but not only for the season, but for this week's game, as it's their whiteout game. And we'll talk a little bit about that game coming right up. Welcome back to Inside the Eagles Nest, and Franklin County's coming off a big win last week against Woodbridge, and they needed a big win to get ready for this week's whiteout game. It's Franklin County plays host to the number 6 team in the Timesland, which is put out by the Roanoke Times in Salem. Justin, Franklin County hasn't saw a lot of success against Salem in the past. They're 3-12 overall against Salem. They've only beat Salem 3 times. Last time they beat them, 1981. And you're like myself, we weren't even born at that time. Mm-hmm. But that being said, they've only played 2 times since 91. They played in 2010, 2009. They lost both of those contests, 34-14, 29-14. Go ahead and tell the people what they can expect out of this 2011 matchup.
Well, this 2011 matchup is coached by Coach Maggs at Salem. I mean, he's had an impressive career overall. Started his career at Glenver, went to Hidden Valley, turned them into winners. Now he's at Salem, keeping that winning tradition alive. Virginia Preps actually named Coach Maggs the AA Coach of the Decade. So if that doesn't speak for itself, I mean, he's a great coach. Yeah, like you said, Salem won last year's matchup 34-14, and they did that the same way that they're going to hope to beat Franklin County this year. Power football, clock management football. They want to run the football. They want to chew up the clock. They want to keep the ball at Franklin County's hands. Yeah, they have 3 of their top 4 returning rushers coming back from next year. They have Jordan Daniels, which is a little power. He's not a power back. He's a speed back. Hit the edge and get off with it. And then they have Marty Bishop and Darius Medley coming back. That's going to be the running between the tackles power backs. Also on defense, they have their top 2 returning tacklers from last year. They have Mick Edwards, which is a 5'11" senior linebacker that was named first team All-District last year. And they also have Chad Fisher coming back, which is a 5'9" junior defensive back. And like I said before, they're the top 2 teams returning tacklers. So we're going to look for Salem to do like they did last year, try to beat Franklin County again. What's your take?
I think we're going to see out of Franklin County the same thing we saw last week. Coach Jones definitely opened up his playbook. And I talked to him last week before the Woodbridge game. He said he only showed maybe 2, 3 of his plays, and that could show that's all he needed to beat William Fleming. Despite William Fleming being a much more improved team over the past couple of years. But Franklin County, they're going to have to establish a run, and they're going to have to kind of do what Salem did last year. Salem, to start the second half last year, took 8 minutes to go 52 yards, and then Franklin County was never able to recover from that.
I only ran 6 plays in that third quarter last year.
Yeah, so Franklin County, they're going to have to use their wing tee, use their passing offense to keep the ball moving, but more importantly, to keep that Salem offense off the field.
Definitely.
So we've kind of told you a little bit about the game. Justin, what's your key for the game this week?
Well, my key for the game, I mean, it goes for both teams. Both teams need to control the line of scrimmage if they want to win. They're both power teams. If they can control the line of scrimmage, keep their runs going, keep the other opposing offense off the field, I mean, they'll have a better chance of winning the game. And also, I have 2 keys to this game this week.
2 keys.
Turnover-free football, which I know it sounds crazy, but Franklin County cannot give the Salem deep in their territory like they did last year. Bradley Rayburn had a fumbled snap on a punt, gave the Salem ball deep in their territory, and they scored like that. And really, Franklin County never recovered. So what's your keys to the game, Kevin?
Well, my first key for the game is for Franklin County. They're going to have to control their emotions. Big win last week. They need to convert that emotion not into mistakes. You know, they can get excited. They could come out, want to make a big play early, but they need to keep their emotions in check, use it to be able to break off games when they need to. They don't need to be Superman.
Yes.
You know, they just need to, like you said, control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, and not make mistakes. Kyle Ellis did a good job last week. He didn't throw any interceptions. He had, I think, close to 100 yards maybe a little bit over.
Sounds about right.
Threw 3 touchdowns. All he's got to do is manage the game. Hand it off to the 5, 6 running backs that you'll see Franklin County have. Just let them Chance Tyree, McGee, Witcher, Keys. Let them run the ball. Use your key. Control the offensive line of scrimmage. For Salem, they're going to have to be able to control this Franklin County team. This Franklin County team can score in spurts. If they can stop the spurts of Franklin County scoring, you know, Franklin County is going to have a tough time winning this game. But I believe it'll be a really good matchup. We encourage everybody out there, if you can, get out to Cy Dillon Stadium this Friday night, 7 o'clock, for the whiteout game. If you haven't got your whiteout shirts already, I believe they still might have some at the Franklin County Athletic offices. If not, wear a white shirt. They're trying to white out the stadium against Salem and show your Eagle support there for the team. And that's going to about do it for week 3. We hope you enjoyed watching again. Once again, follow us on Twitter for game updates. We'll try to get as many out as possible. I'm FC Insider, and that's Justin Hall 04. Follow us for game updates. Sometimes we'll tell you when new things are coming out on our website, or if Virginia Preps put something out, we have a little partnership with them going. Sometimes be able to check out our Western Valley District wrap-up that we put out for them.
Every Monday.
Every Monday, usually it comes out. Just be on the lookout for that at Virginia Preps. I think it's .rivals.com. But just search Virginia Preps. Good source of all things football and any kind of high school sports. But thank you again for joining us. For Kevin Tosh and Justin Hall, have a good night.